Hi, I'm Lloyd, and along with my brother and business partner Dan, I'm the co-host of the Business Anchors podcast. We're always interested in stories of how businesses grow, so today we'll be sharing the story of the last... How many years was it?
We always say, oh yeah, we started 6 years ago, but then we never add a year on when another year's gone past. So I always get confused. How long have we actually been going?
Thanks for the clarification there, Dan. Let's just start at the beginning then. The soundtrack to this scene in our movie would be... I'm Dan Knowlton, and I'm going to help you grow a huge business. Yeah? I'm going to help you with your marketing.
Oh, man. Looking back, that's how I sounded.
But without that, we wouldn't be here
Exactly.
today. Well said, Past Lloyd. It's taken hard work to get there, and I would like to say the work I've done to build our business has been 100% legitimate. No weird schmoozing of people from huge corporations. I'll leave that to Dan.
I remember milking the head of digital at FIFA, who was in the training.
Oh, while you're milking him.
No. Milking his testimonial. Oh.
Milking his what?
Shut up.
Right, let's get this back on track, Dan. This is getting a bit weird, even for the Business Anchors podcast.
I look at you sometimes and say, we've actually got a business that works.
Yeah. It's strange because you look at other businesses and you think, they must be clever. And then I realise, I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
We're bloody doing it. So let's get into the story of Knowlton, from Dan making videos in our parents' spare room to working with some amazing clients with a team of amazing people. We've still got a very long way to go, but here's the story so far.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
How did Knowlton start?
Depends what you're talking about, the landmark.
The marketing agency.
Oh, the marketing agency. God, there is a lot to tell how we started. It was very different from where we are today.
Do you know what I always get confused about? We always say, oh yeah, we started 6 years ago, but then we never add a year on when another year's gone past. So I always get confused. How long have we actually been going?
I think...
Was it? I want to say June 2015.
Well, I think you started the journey. Make it sound cool.
Yeah.
June 2015, which would mean that we're just over 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
16, 17, 18, 19,
Lloyd's
20.
using his fingers to count now.
So under 6 years.
It'd be 6 years in June this year.
No, so was it 2014 then? Oh, whatever. We've been going for a while.
But no, I don't think it was. But I think we've been saying we've been going longer than we have.
Why? Are we trying to lie to everyone?
No, not intentionally. But I didn't start till 2016 when we joined forces.
So anyway, how did it start?
Well, we don't know when though, Dan. We're going to have to talk for ages on it.
Oh, actually, no, I remember. Yeah, go on.
So, well, I'll let you tell the story because I wasn't involved at this point.
So it started by me having a meltdown in my previous job and calling mum and dad crying, and they said, "Come home, Daniel." And I went home, and dad basically said to me, my dad runs a really successful business consultancy, and he said, you either need to go and get a job, or you can work for me for, was it 3 or 6 months? And by the end of that period, you have to prove that you're bringing in enough income to warrant me paying you, basically.
I think sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but this is maybe pre-Knowlton, but that was like a starting point to actually doing marketing.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that...
I was going to say, I think this is the start of the journey, and I think it's good that we're honest about that, because obviously you get some businesses that start like, I was eating beans and earning £2 a day.
And now I'm a trillionaire.
And then you get some people like Donald Trump that go, oh yeah, I'm a self-made man, other than the $10 million loan I had from my dad.
Yeah.
And I think we're somewhere in the middle, because we were really fortunate where when you took that first leap into trying to do stuff for yourself, Dad basically said, I'll pay you within my business for marketing stuff.
Me. Yeah.
And like you said, you've got 6 months. So I think we were lucky there, because a lot of when people start businesses and new ventures, you don't always get 6 months. You might have have 2 or 3 months to prove yourself, or 1 month.
We were in the most amazing situation, because I'll carry on the story in a sec, but because we were in a situation where my dad had said, right, you now need to go out there in the world and get new business to support them with marketing, and I'll pay your salary for 6 months. My mindset of trying to generate business, it wasn't like my mortgage wasn't going to get paid, or I couldn't eat if I didn't win business. So it was very good to come across in a good way when trying to sell, I think, compared to you've started a business, you're desperate, but you're desperately trying not to be desperate. Whereas I was in the situation where I was all right, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you say you're all right, but 6 months goes past quick. Like from point zero of basically you've got to prove that you're bringing in more income to the business than you're...
So that first chunk of time, I think I learned how to build a website. We were called KPS Digital Marketing. Started KPS Digital Marketing at the time. I built a website, booked on loads of networking, built some social profiles, and just went out there and sort of said to people, yeah, we do marketing and stuff, not knowing what I was doing. Did that for a bit. Actually I remember that one of our first clients was...
Well, hang on. No.
No?
I'm going to stop you there.
Go on then.
So that was the start.
Yeah, go on.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Notice the main character of the story isn't in there yet.
yeah. No, I was getting to you.
I want to firstly, so that's how it started. That's like first...
In our parents' back room.
First couple of months, that was it. Where are we now?
I'll let you go on. I'll let you do this bit.
Okay.
You wanted to change direction of the phone. Go on.
No, I'm a bit of a storyteller. I'm a creative, so I'm trying to build this. So the end point is today.
Well, we're not at an end point.
Well, we're at the current end point.
yeah.
Okay. Of this story. Today, we're a creative marketing agency, soon to be team of 10 employees here at Knowlton, working with amazing
global
clients, and we've got amazing people, amazing creative people here that we work with. And I don't know about you, but I feel like in the last probably like 18 months, 2 years, I feel like we found our like what we do, what we're the best at, what we're better than anyone else at, and I
think that's taken about 5.5 years to figure out.
Yeah, who knows, because we don't know how long the business has been going.
But no, you're exactly right. I think that the first kind of 4 years where it was just you and I, it was us just figuring out what on earth we're doing. Like, we've only really hired people and actually started building a team and actually got out of our parents' back room in the last 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Yeah,
about that. Yeah. So
now
we hired people longer than 2. But yeah.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
So that's where we are now. The story, we're still only 10% through the Knowlton story, by the way. At this point, I know it said it's the end point, but we got so much to learn and so much more to do.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd kind of reflect on how we got here over the last however many years. We don't know if it's 2 or 10. And
hopefully people gain value from it.
Yeah, I think I've got some like key lessons along the way that I look back and think like that was a pivotal thing. And if other people can pick up that, I think there's some really valuable stuff. And also, when you came up with this idea, Dan, for this episode, I thought, I always look at businesses and I always think, I wonder what their story is. Like, how did they start that? How did they, that's a really cool creative company and they've got 29 employees. Yeah. How did they get from 1 to 5? I think that's interesting.
Yeah. So
how did we get?
so where were we in the story? So I started working with my dad, proved the concept after 6 months, built a website for KBS Digital Marketing, went out to the world, got our first good client, which I think was like paying us a few thousand a month, and it was a hotel and stuff.
This was at the point of the soundtrack to this like scene in our movie would be I'm Dan Knowlton and I'm going to help you grow a huge business. Yeah I'm going to help you with your marketing.
Oh man, looking back, that's how I sounded,
but without that we wouldn't be here today.
So then I think that was around the point where Lloyd wasn't enjoying his job, and I think, did you quit around then, and then Dad kind of gave you the same opportunity once I'd proven my... Is that about right? You tell me.
No, I spent over a year thinking, why... I hate my job, and I've got responsibilities like a wife and a mortgage. And Dan doesn't have that yet. Why is my dad giving him the opportunity? Why does he believe in him and not me? And we've actually discussed this previously. That genuinely was the case because Dan very much at that point was showing the outside world, oh, I'm good at stuff and would be a good employee. Whereas I've never felt the need to show anyone I'm good at anything. Certainly not at that point. So I was just saying like, yeah, I could definitely like run my own business and do stuff like that. And Dad was like, well, it'd be great if we could do something. If, you know, what do you do? Can you tell me? And I'd be like, nah, not telling you, but I'll do it.
You idiot.
Yeah, so that was at that point. But yeah, I got into I actually got a new horrible manager that was above me in my old job. The job was a job I really enjoyed until he came in, and he wanted me out from day one.
Make this thing purple. I made it purple for you. Why did you make it purple?
Why did you make it purple? I'm going to tell the owner. Huh? What?
So you weren't enjoying yourself there, were you?
And it got to the point where I was looking for lots of other things, and then eventually Dad gave me the same opportunity. Like, Lloyd, I did it for Dan a year ago, and now he's smashing it with huge businesses. So I came in and I did some weird stuff.
You did some weird stuff. Yeah, go on.
I was basically a customer experience consultant for about 6 months, which weirdly I did actually get income that within that 6 months.
I've been customer service experts. Yeah, Lloyd labelled himself as a customer service expert. Never done anything. Well, no, you had actually had experience in it in your, but
not enough to try and do that.
Screwing your face up.
Yeah.
So you built your own website. You printed 10 million business cards.
Yeah. I only ever needed 4.
Yeah.
And they had a spelling mistake on, so no one would ever get in touch with me.
So I think you did that alongside me doing my thing. You did that for a while.
Yeah.
And then there was a pivotal moment, and also you are and were very creative. You've done stuff with video and websites randomly in your own time. And then we went on a walk, didn't we? Was it a charity walk? It was like a practice walk for a charity walk.
Yeah, practice for a charity walk.
And we both had a conversation. It was like a 6-hour walk or something. And we said, we work in the same office doing 2 completely different things. You've got opposite skills that would complement my skills. Why don't we just join forces and work together on what I'm doing? And then we were like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. And by we, you meant I said that, and you said, yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird how I'd been thinking of, we should definitely be working together rather than doing separate things. And I thought, right, I'll actually talk to Dan about it today because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
But I had no idea how you'd feel about it.
We were still wearing suits at this point.
Oh, yeah. Probably for the walk I was. Probably just handing out business cards on the way. But yeah, straight away you were just like, yes, definitely. Why haven't we been doing
Do you remember
this?
we did that launch video in the back room in the office?
Wearing matching
the same blue shirts.
I think.
Yeah.
Which weren't even on brand. So I don't know why we had matching shirts.
So then, since then we joined forces. Then a couple more years, we sort of just tried to figure out and did some video projects for people, did some marketing.
Yeah. We started getting better opportunities and more things because we were working together with my creative skills and my basic video skills at that point to promote Dan's personal brand, where Dan started talking at some small events and things about marketing.
Yeah.
So it did.
Lloyd was using Cyberlink Pro to edit our videos.
Cyberlink Pro Director.
Which is Barney shaking his head.
It was
terrible software.
It really, looking back, it was terrible.
I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible, I've just never heard of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
No one's
bad.
heard of it.
Yeah.
So we were. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we were doing that. And then we started to get more opportunities, didn't we? I think a pivotal moment, the next pivotal moment for me was in 2017, we made this video, which was super creative and the first kind of Knowlton style video for our own business, which was our testimonials video.
Yeah.
That was like a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel. It's basically a video where we went out and filmed testimonials with our actual customers, and we also dressed up as characters and pretended to comment on ourselves. And it was quite witty and fun.
I think I will always look back on that video think fondly, because we always say about it's okay to look back at your old stuff and cringe.
Yeah.
I definitely cringe at like the quality of the video.
Yeah.
And I look at like,
but the creative
that
direction.
light, that's not even in focus. Why did we do that? But actually, still today, that would be a great video.
Yeah.
And that really
set
did
the tone for like we can act like we could create something that was selling our business that everyone was commenting on and sharing and saying, "Oh, this is so good." And I was, at that moment, I was like,
yeah,
wow.
It was like that light bulb moment, wasn't it? Of, hang on, no one watches videos normally of going, I work with KPS Digital Marketing because they're a great marketing. And we got everyone to watch 5 minutes of that, like thousands of people. And it was like, hang on.
And I think at the end of the video, we put some text like, you've been watching this for 5 minutes. This is an advert or something. And then we had loads of people commenting saying, I've just watched a 5-minute advert for your business and love it. And this is the kind of comments we get now with our content.
So that was around 2017, wasn't it? And, we had enough people we were working with to get in a video. So we had a handful of clients we'd worked with.
Small local businesses.
Yeah, small local business. But I think this is a good learning point, I think, that is really key. So looking back at the work we did in 2017 in comparison to now, you look at it and just go, that's shit. However, I
charging
think
a lot less.
throughout the whole business, we exceeded the expectations of people we were working with. So yes, we weren't winning £100,000 deals to work on some video campaign, but we might have done something where someone was paying us 450 quid and they got the value that they would have got if they paid someone else £1,500.
Yeah.
So they were well happy, recommended us. And I think that's been a key thing throughout what we've done. Even when we weren't able to deliver work at the high standards we do now, we were exceeding expectations at every point, which I think for people learning and starting out in business, I just think, don't worry, like when you see businesses that are doing great stuff, you can get there. It's just not right now.
Yeah. And I think ongoing from there, I think the kind of main pivotal moments were mainly getting more credible customers. Because when credible, like for example, the next one I'd say was Thanet and Kent District Council, and Kent County
local
Council.
Councils,
They started working with, or like invested in working with us. And then at the time we thought we'd run the lottery, because if a council is showing that they trust you, it then shows other businesses that you can be trusted, and that's a credibility factor.
Again, it was just that simple thing of on your website, and when you're doing a pitch for sales or whatever, although we never used to pitch at that point, but trying to sell something, you have a Kent County Council logo, and it's kind of like, well, they can't just be a guy that's going to scam you. At least they've worked with them. I think that definitely helped us, our first like local credibility. That was good.
Some of the best feelings I've ever had in this business are when we've won like a client that we know is going to change our business. Like I remember Eurotunnel was the next one up, and I remember us like jumping around in the air in the back room in our parents' room. Like we were so, it was like a rush of I don't know what it was, euphoria, because we were like a brand that like is really well known, trusts us.
It was the first brand we worked with, or business we worked with, that we thought someone anywhere in the UK could recognise that logo. And I remember being in a service station coming back probably from some shit networking meeting where I had a fry up. And you calling me and said we won it, and I remember saying like, this is this is going to change
turning
point. For the first time we can talk about working with.
I'm actually getting goosebumps to talk about it now, because it was a real moment, isn't it?
This is where another lesson to learn, guys. This is where we started what we now call milking the top 10%.
Yes.
And I think any business owner should be doing this. So
what on earth is milking the top 10%, Lloyd?
So milking the top 10%. So a lot of businesses work with a load of clients and say, look at all this work I've done with all these clients. Whereas we have always had the thing of, let's not shout about the things that we don't want to do more of as the business grows in the future. So, when we worked with Kent County Council, we then weren't shouting about like a little bakery we worked with down the road from us, because it's like, we want to be portraying that we work with credible clients like Kent Council. So we're talking about that. Then we started work with Eurotunnel, and we're talking about working with Eurotunnel. And as it went on, and I guess the next kind of stage where we really that milking the top 10%. And I think something that was great for our business is Dan had an opportunity where we'd built up Dan's personal brand enough in the marketing space that you had the opportunity to deliver training to a lot of big brands that are known around the world, which that classic milk in the top 10%, then we're always going to be like, we've worked with these big well-known brands of FIFA and Nestle and stuff, because it's like, obviously that's going to attract more of the work we want than saying Barbara's Baps down the road. That's the name of a bakery, by the way. That's not a woman's. But
I also think that the one before that training one in Dubai, the Eurotunnel one, the thing that was really reassuring to me was the decision maker in that business actually said how and why they got in touch with us, and they'd been following us for like 2 years and read our blogs and saw us me speak at events and seen us at networking, and it just reassured me of all the things we were doing were right. Not all of them were right, but like we were going in the right direction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, because we've always had that long-term approach, the inbound approach we've spoken about in previous episodes and stuff, which is always scary because you're just saying, this will work long-term, but you don't know until the long-term happens. At least a couple of years. But that was really a sign of, oh, wow. So, and that was the first stage. Like, these massive worldwide brands want training from you. Yeah. And the second thing was you doing it and getting great feedback, and then us going, we're good enough to give great training to...
Like, I remember milking the head of digital at FIFA, who was in the training.
Oh, while you're milking him?
No. Milking his testimonial. Oh.
Milking his testimonial?
Shut up. He wrote us a testimonial saying how brilliant it was, and I milked the testimonial.
I remember in Dubai milking this guy.
Shut up.
God, I'd never heard that story, Dan.
And then, anyway, so moving on from that, the next pivotal moment for me was working with Wahl, I think. That was when was it the Christmas campaign? We did a really creative, we built a whole set.
I think there's a big thing before that.
Go on.
What about when we actually started hiring anyone?
Oh, yeah. Okay, go on.
We didn't, that was... So when we were working with those bigger brands and stuff, and it was mainly... I think it was me and you at that point.
We were just doing everything, weren't we?
Yeah. Lots of hats on.
Every hat there is.
Every hat there is. And then I remember us talking about having someone permanently and stuff, but we speak about our dad a lot, our business mentor. Our dad had kind of grew in his career through being an MD of a big company where he managed loads of people, and it was very stressful for him. So then when he started his own business, he was like, I am never employing anyone. I'll work with people in various ways, but they are not going to be my employees. So I remember saying, so Ida, who is amazing and still with us here, we're talking about employing her full time to help us, because me and Dan just had no time. I was like, we need someone good that can do good stuff to help us have time. And I remember Dad saying, oh, you want to pay someone else's mortgage, do you?
Is that what he said?
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, so now you can have the stress of paying your mortgages and someone else's. And I was like, yeah, but surely it also means I free up half of my time, which would be...
He was very anti it. But that does make sense, because he's grown and been successful in a path that's worked for him. So he's giving us advice based on his experience. Yeah. And he's employed lots of people and hated it. Not hated it, but like it was stressful. So, but I'm glad that we stuck to our guns and...
Yeah, for our business model, obviously completely different to what he worked on. We need these lovely, talented people around us. I have to say that because some of them are in the room.
And it was me, you, and Ida in our parents' back room, and then we got to a point we need to hire someone else, and we thought we can't just have loads of people in our parents' back room because it's weird, isn't it?
It was already weird for Ida, I think, when.
But we knew Ida as a friend before, so it was less weird.
Still, when you've got a job and then at 3:00. The guys you're working with, Mum comes up and goes, anyone want a cup of tea? And it's just and starts hoovering when you're on a business call outside in the hallway. I think we realised, like, right, this is the max. We can't have any more employees in here because it would just get even weirder.
Yeah.
And And plus, it's a bit unfair to our parents, so we just start a business and to
Yeah.
keep growing it into more rooms
Yeah.
of their house would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
And our mum really wanted us to get a big garden shed, or it's not a shed, but it's like a
Like a summer
outside
house type.
office.
Yeah.
But we very much wanted to actually get our own space.
Not be on their property?
Yeah, yeah. So then we got this place.
Yes. Yeah, got this place. And it was weird because we went from an office that's smaller than this podcast set to a space like 8 to 10 times that size. So suddenly we had far too much space. And definitely didn't need it. But we did. That was because we had long-term goals of having more people, didn't we? I mean, there's a reason why we had 6 desks in here when we only had 3 people.
Yeah. And I think that's another good point, like an actual tip value adding thing, is start with the end in mind. Like, because we went through that process of thinking, what do we want our endpoint to be? What does that look like? All of our decision making, what was thinking, let's get a massive room that is going to fit, 12
Because if
to
we
15
just got
people
a small office that fit 4 or 5 people in,
we'd be thinking like that
it would have just caused so much more work to
Yeah.
grow bigger than that.
Yeah.
And it's another hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that was the biggest commitment. I'd say even more than when we hired Ida for the first time, the biggest commitment to me was this office, because I don't know, it just felt more real. It was like, well, we're paying rent for this place,
But
and we're like committed now.
we still say to each other, even the other day, I look at you sometimes and say, we've actually got a business that works.
Yeah. It's strange because you look at other businesses and you think they must be clever. And then I realised, I'm doing it too. It's weird, isn't it?
So we moved into our new office. We had an exciting project with a global personal care brand. That went amazingly well. And I think every time we've worked with a really credible brand and we've got them amazing results, that is then our best marketing tool to get more good clients. Because
Yeah.
we're like, look at this global brand. We've got these amazing results,
It's like-
trackable sales for.
It's like the next stage of the milk in the top 10%. We used to just stick their logo on our website and kind of talk about them.
Yeah.
And now it's like we actually use the facts and the data to go, yes, we work with this credible brand, and they invested
Well,
£50,000 and got $500,000 out
I
of
think
it.
we take it even further now. We actually produce behind the scenes content. We've got stories going out as we're doing shoots and things, teasing people to show them the process of what we do, and then we talk about the results once
Yeah.
the campaign's gone live.
And even to the extent where we make less profit on a project because we pay someone to be doing behind the scenes
Yes.
footage, and we use our in-house resources to create that content,
It's an
schedule
investment,
that
though.
content, get it out there. Like you said, it's part of our marketing.
I said to
basically.
you before this podcast, our best marketing tool is when we do client work, produce a cool campaign, and then we can shout about it. That's consistently we get new deals coming in when we show the good stuff we do. So any opportunity we have to show more of that,
Yeah.
I love it because it's makes my job easier.
Yeah. So then we 3 became 4. We hired another person. Basically, we finally committed to having someone for video stuff, so I didn't have to do everything.
Yeah. That was a
which
good day.
Obviously made sense.
Cyberlink Pro was no more.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And it's like, this could actually work as a proper business, because if we have those people focusing on the video,
Then
I can focus on other stuff that will grow the business.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
and then did we hire another 2 people? Or
Well, then COVID happened,
then COVID happened, yeah.
which obviously I panicked and wanted to just start new businesses, really.
Yeah, we went for that walk, didn't we? And you wanted to start a seed subscription business when there was a shortage of seeds in the world.
I still think that could have been great.
Yeah. And I was like, Lloyd, we've built something good. We've proven this. Let's actually go double down on this business rather than trying to start a seed subscription business that we've got no.
Yeah. And after a brief panic, it was all worth it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Um,
Then we hired 2 more people.
yeah. Then
and
3,
now,
then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7.
yeah, now we're hiring another 4. Yeah. So, did you looking back? When we started and we were, oh, hello, I help your business. When we were those people, did you think we'd get to this?
No.
What did you think our end point
firstly,
would be?
if it wasn't for you, we never would have. Like if I just started a business, I'd still just be in my pants doing it on my own. Because
Yeah, but at the same time, if it wasn't for you, now we've actually got a business. You're very structured and organised and help drive the direction.
now I had a lot of
Yeah,
value.
you needed me to
But
just...
I think it's the difference in our personalities and why you're good at stuff at like going to the gym and being like, because I need to see like where I'm going to be motivated to do
Right.
it. So now I'm really
Evidence.
excited by this business, and so I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm all in. But at the time when I was just wearing a shit suit trying to do something on my own, wasn't overly motivated.
You had your Burton's one piece,
Yeah.
2 piece.
But I think, and also I didn't think of this business because I think like every business, if you think like Amazon didn't start out to be the biggest retailer in the world.
Yeah.
It started out thinking there was an opportunity to sell books on this new thing on the internet.
Yeah.
And then it's gone into that. And like, I think about Electric House, who a really cool agency based in Birmingham. The guys that started out with like a recruitment app for tradespeople.
Yeah. And then they've evolved.
And then they created a Facebook page and a community around that. And then so I think I didn't have exactly this in mind. And I think for other business owners and stuff, or people wanting to start businesses, be open to the fact that you probably won't have any idea where it's going to go. Some people obviously start things and it's exactly, but I think it's much more likely that you start something, can even work on it for a decade, and then it takes a turn and goes on to something
I also
else.
think something we've done quite differently to other agencies is we have grown organically in the sense of when we've really invested almost everything this business earns back into the business rather than taking money out, so that when we've built up a buffer, we can think, oh, we can hire someone. Whereas other agencies will get some investment, just hire 20 people and then hope that you're going to get the income in to pay everyone's wages, whereas we've done it more organically, which I don't know, I think it's just worked for us because in terms of our goals, we don't want the stress of hiring 20 people and then thinking, shit, are we going to be able to pay their salaries? Or...
I was going to say that it's worked for us and our goals. If we wanted to build,
not necessarily the right
if
thing.
we wanted to build a business with 100 employees, it wouldn't work because it would take 100 years to get there. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it'll take that long, but yeah.
Oh, all right, confident. Most people, like, we haven't even used loans or like an overdraft. Like we always have, we make the money to then reinvest into
Lloyd, stop boasting.
Well, I don't get it. The business makes the money to reinvest into it.
Yeah.
And I think, so to grow faster, because, we've been around, well, we still haven't worked out, been around, 6 years, and we're a team of 10. Obviously, companies in the first year get to like 50.
Yeah. So
with
we're
investment
slow.
So it's a slower growth, but obviously we've bloody loved it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, my enjoyment level of running this business, I come to work every day and absolutely love it. And sometimes I feel a bit of stress, but I'd say 95% of the time I'm loving it and enjoying it. And
it also allows us to, the way we work and with our team, not just be like, we have to get the most out of you, literally until you just cry and you quit and we get another version of you.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? When companies are growing quickly,
I've
heard a lot
really
about
pressure,
culture
You need
within
to
and
stay
high
here till
pressure.
8 PM and...
It's like, oh no, you're not getting paid for extra time you're here, but if you don't get that finished, and it will take 4 more hours, then you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
I think it's nice not to be in that situation. And of course, there's pressure on our team.
Yeah.
And that we do put an element of pressure on them. It's like, we want to do good work, but it's not that thing of, you better stay here till midnight, otherwise you'll be in trouble.
And also, we've still got a long way to go to improve that. I think we're still trying to figure it all out, aren't we? Like, we're nowhere near like the pivotal...
No, we need to do better and we need to do more moving forward, without a doubt, as we grow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's your best memory over the past 6-7 years of us?
I'd say I've got 2.
Okay, go on.
One was me and you going to San Diego last year when you spoke at an event there. Just because it was the first time we had a trip together where actually we didn't work much.
Yeah.
And it was a good time to reflect on like, oh, we're doing all right here, and we've got a good plan on how to move this forward, and this is exciting.
Yeah.
I think it was a good time to reflect with just the two of us going away
Yeah.
to the other side of the world.
And we actually did a whole podcast talking about it after we went. Don't know what episode it was.
Yeah. Wasn't it episode 1
Was it?
or 2? 2.
Anyway.
Yeah. Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the Buy Whole Foods online shoot we did in September. Just because although it was a bit stressful because there was so much going on, the client allowed us to be really creative, and with the team we've got here, it was really good to work with the team on something that involved so many different locations, weird stuff. You know, we had cameras on boats and all sorts, and it was just a really fun experience, I think, and great sense of achievement at the end of it for the whole team.
Yeah.
And that delivered great results for the client. So yeah. What about you? Have you?
I think, well, my best feelings I get in the business is winning new exciting projects, and I think it's being around the team and you, and then like finding out and being like, that's the feeling I get the biggest rush from.
Doing shots of apple vodka at midday.
Yeah, I mean we obviously did that the other week when we got an exciting project confirmed, and you just made us do shots, didn't you, Lloyd?
Well, no, I'm not forcing anyone. HR.
You offered the team shots, and we basically just stopped working. And
Don't just blame that on Lloyd.
Yeah.
it was me as well. I got excited.
You have done that before.
No, but I think it's when you go through a process with any project and it's back forth, and you're heavily invested into it, and it's something you really want to work on. When you eventually, and some of those don't come off, and it feels rubbish. But
What's been your worst memory?
Oh, my worst memory. I guess my worst feeling is when I'm not delivering based on what I'm marked on or what I need to deliver. So I need to deliver sales in the business. There's been periods of time where we've lost money each month because I'm not getting enough business in, and it's my responsibility. That's when I feel the worst.
Yeah, so you should, mate. Yeah.
But I think, again, comparatively to other people, that feeling is rubbish, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to work harder and longer hours to try and claw back the feeling of... But compared to other people who are going through terrible things and hate their job and
other people, their job is that feeling every day, and that's normal. Yeah.
So I feel very, very fortunate and lucky that I can't think of... I'm trying to think of like anything really bad that's happened, but I can't really... Well, I don't know. What have you got anything in mind?
I have... There's not one thing, but whenever there's been a moment where any client has shown any signs of not being happy with something we've done, I feel the shittest, like...
That's true, actually.
And it's only happened, like, over the however many years, 3 or 4 times, there's been someone that's gone, this actually isn't good enough. And it really throws you back, and I'm like, suddenly I doubt everything in the world ever. Yeah. And I'm like,
that's true, actually.
And it just, I think, like, say I get an email at 4 p.m. Yeah, Lloyd, this isn't quite
good enough. We're not happy.
Good enough. We're not happy with that. I won't sleep that night.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about it.
But I think I think this is a good thing, and this reminds me, like the classic interview question: tell me some of your weaknesses, and then someone says, "My weaknesses, I try really hard." I feel it's like that. I think it's a good thing that you don't sleep at night when. And we feel terrible because it makes us try that extra bit harder to deliver.
I will do anything to avoid that feeling.
Oh, God, yeah. Because I feel the same as you. That is a good point.
I suppose you're right, actually. That is good. Because if I was just like, it's all right, then we'd just continue to make mistakes.
Again, looking at my role of delivering sales for the business, I want current customers to spend more and re-sign up. So if we're pissing them off and not delivering, they're not going to sign up. But we don't do that very often, and we've just re-signed a very exciting global personal care brand that we're going to be working with. The negative times like that happened more when we worked with very small businesses on very small projects. It's always
the
smaller sort of companies that will. I think, again, that part of our sales process now, I really trying to use my initiative to weed out those smaller businesses that you're never going to potentially please because their expectations are so high based on what they're... So...
Interesting.
Good times.
So that's the story of KPS Digital Marketing, Dan in a little room with 6 months to prove himself to this great agency
Knowlton.
of 10 people, and us having lots of fun.
What does the future look like then? What do you think?
We're going to have to do another episode when it's like, the story of 10 to 20 employees and working with these clients.
Well, we always said, we probably don't want more than 15 employees, but I don't know.
We keep growing, so we weren't supposed to. Our 2030 plan, which my mates take the mick out me because we mention it in the podcast so much.
Yeah. What year are we in now?
We're at about 2027 already, I reckon, this year. So we're really going too fast. So we need to stop that.
Yeah. But also, we're in a high at the moment. There's going to be peaks and troughs and peaks and troughs. So we just got to
We'll go back
ourselves.
to 2025 and then we'll have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Business Anchors, for listening to our journey. I know there's a lot of talking about us and our business, but we're hoping there's kind of lessons in there. And like I said, I just find it interesting being nosy about other businesses. So hopefully you did too.
Yeah. If you've got any more questions about us or any specific questions, then message us and stuff.
Thanks, Business Anchors. And thank you, Dan, for being a great brother and business partner.
The end.
Was hoping for a thanks back, but cheers. All right. The end.